Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex coming back in today with a brand new video. And as always, down title will be the topic we were talking about today. So, how to not summon a Demon Lord. And I know a lot of you guys are probably like, yes, he is talking about this series before it ends. He's actually going to talk about it some. And I need to turn off this monitor, or else I'm going to have a weird video. Yes, so no cuts. No cuts this video, hopefully. But, yeah, so how to not summon a Demon Lord, guys. This show, right off the rip, I want to keep, what I say to a minimum, for right now, at least this week. But this show is a show to where I will say this right off the rip. I love the art. I really do like the art. I think it's really, really nice to look at, and I just want to come out and say that for anyone who does, visuals are very important. But diving right into this episode, I gotta say, man, I love how this episode is able to set up just from last week's episode and the discussion Rim had with She-Ra, and now them rescuing She-Ra from her older brother, and from the Elven Kingdom that she does not want to go back to due to the fact that she says, hey, I want to be able to decide my own self-worth. I don't want my self-worth to be a bias. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be a prerequisite people judge me by my social status, being the princess and whatnot. So that was cool to see, actually, and I'm glad that they did do that with her character because, she's a character that I should dislike, but for certain reasons like that, I don't dislike her. And that's something that I don't get a lot of, right? We don't get a lot. We don't get that character that has her persona, and we actually do get to like. So now moving on to the actual stuff, though. This show, I think, does a great job of just kind of, going on an adventure in an isekai world without trying to do too much or go too hard, and by it doing everything subtly, and really subtle about the things it does do, I think it elevates the show. And that's something that I think a lot of isekais do lack of trying to do, and I think they just, the show isn't exactly copy and paste. The main character is like the biggest, I guess, he has the most originality within the series, I would say. So in this episode, we actually do find out that Diablo, our main character, actually has a little bit of an issue with friends and stuff. He has a mental hurdle that he was, used as a little kid, not because his friend, these people wanted to be friends with him. He was used because of his gaming skill, because of his stature of his character within a video game and the items in which he carried. He let his friends use them, and he's like, we're friends, right? I'll let you guys use these. And next thing you know, they turn their back on him. They're like, hey, behind closed doors there, that he overheard, they were like, you know what? We don't need him. I bet you we'd be just fine without him. And, he's kind of scared of not, of coming out of his persona now that he's formed, the Diablo, the Demon Lord persona. And that was cool to see, actually, this episode, because I thought it's just him, it's just some nerdy otaku, and he is some nerdy otaku. But at the same time, he's also a character that it's just simply, he has a mental hurdle. He was used and abused in the past, mentally, and it's affected him throughout his life. And usually whenever things like that do happen, if I look at the sociology of it all, studying in the class I took for it, usually, when you're younger, certain events really shape who you are in the future, even if you're conscious and or unconscious about them. So that's something that does make sense. I do like how the writing did do that. That's true. That's just a true statement. I mean, your lifestyle whenever you're younger shapes who you are in the future. I mean, that's just simply true. But, seeing how he reacts to that with She-Ra was just cool to see, and how he knew that she's under a spell, but yet he still, the denial of it all was just kind of like, she still said it, he's in denial because he still said, I want to go to, back home. I don't want to be here, after she said all the things about wanting to be there. And that's something that's cool to see, and I like how the writing did handle that. And yes, I do know that this show did the tentacle. It did the hentai tentacle cliche. I get that. I understand that. And it's okay. It's exempt. I'm not going to bash it for it. I refuse. Because I like what it's done with itself. And, there's a lot of times I think to myself when I'm watching this show, I'm just kind of like, I like this show. But why do I like this show? I like this show because, I don't know. I like the show because I get the same feeling I got whenever I watch, Konosuba, and that's something that I just did not imagine, happening, and it's just kind of weird. Like, it's not like Konosuba. It's not the same theme per se, right? It's about being stuck in a video game, sure, but like the theme of Konosuba, genre-wise, is comedy. The theme of this show is adventure. I mean, so I don't know what it is, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to say too much until I get something done today. But it's such a weird video to talk about, but I want to talk about it, one, to let you guys know this is going to be reviewed, and two, I didn't want to start reviewing it on episode 8 with only 4 episodes left. So other than that, though, I did feel as if this episode did nail the climax, emotionally at least. I felt as if whenever Diablo showed up and Rim and Alicia, that the whole scene, it did remind me of Sword Art Online in a way, but like I don't know. I feel like this scene was a little bit more tasteful, maybe. I don't know. It's really weird to put into words how I feel about this show and this episode, because this scene really, not just this episode, but this scene in general, because I feel as if this scene with Shira was a scene to where it could have went either way for me. But given the circumstances of, her battling the flute and then her battling the enslavement collar, I thought that was cool. And I thought that really saved the scene, and that's something it's weird. It's hard to describe how I really truly feel about each individual detail of this episode. So yeah, with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and end the video here. It may have been a clunky video. It may have been a clanky video, but there is a reason for that. I just wanted to stick to the episode. It's weird to start reviewing a show and talk about episode 7. I get that. I understand. The review was clunky. It was clanky a little bit. There wasn't as much fluidity throughout the video as I would have liked, but the reason for that is because of something that's coming. And I told you guys yesterday it's coming in a trailer, and it's coming this time too. So as always, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Weird video, man. Weird video.